Welcome to part 7 of the standard Fordson Perkins conversion. On the last video we showed us machining up the back plate, or the adapter for the brake back plate. That's all been drilled and tapped, and we'll show you that on this episode. And so it's on there now, fastened up, and the back plate bolted on, and then the brake shoes bolted on front of that. And it also shows that with the drum on, so you can see we are got a little bit of a issue with the clearance here. It needs to go in a bit further, and I'm thinking about putting another 10mm spacer between the drum and the and the hub. As you can see, that got a 12mm in there. I'm thinking about adding another 10mm because I can come this way a little bit on the axle should it be a bit too much. But what I can't do, as it is now, go any further that way, because the boss of the hub, which is that piece, it's the seal, and I don't want it rubbing on the seal housing, obviously, because it's going to chew the seal out. But I can come this way, well, probably nearly up to as much as 10mm. So hopefully, you know, that'll come good. I can only do it and try it and see how I get on with it. And so we're nearly at the point now where all this stuff, once I've got that sort of sorted, this stuff can all be taken off, and I'm going to have to put the tin work on, because the tin work has to go over the trumpet before any of this can be put on to be finished. So I'm going to have a major clear up now, so we can get on the bench and get some of the tin work in, and we can get it sorted, because it's in a poor way. The old tin work is. The tops are fairly good, but the sides and the foot plates are very bad. But I've got several sets of old mud guards around the back. I might be able to retrieve enough parts out of it to make the the one good set. So that's where we're at the moment. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay then, so we've got the trumpet adapter for the brake back plate. So the trumpet adapter, we've already split them and put the pinch bolt in, which you've seen on another video. And now the back plate sits on the spigot of that, and now we're drilling a series of holes all the way around. And it's very similar to what I'm doing, or what I did with the brake drum. So basically what I'm doing here now is, if you watch, I'm just going to locate the hole. This time I found a bit of tool steel, which was just the right size to fit in the bolt hole. There you go. Just popped it in and out now, look. So just a little bit of fine tuning. So that's pretty much in the centre. So I'll wind that up now, and while you're there, I'll just change the drop that bit out, put the centre drill in, and proceed to drill that. Oh, got to change gear. Okay, right, now we go. I'll just give it a squirt. So this is just a 22mm plate, oh sorry, a 20mm plate, minus the 3mm for the spigot that this plate is. This is about 3mm. So we're looking at about 17 mil. But so that's the centre. We'll just stop that. Okay, so we'll change the drill. So this is their tap-in drill, and it's only 8 mil, so you just wind it straight in. I'm not going to bother with a pilot drill. It's almost a pilot drill at 8 mil. So we'll set in there now. So drill that through. They're a bit quicker than doing the brake drum. The for one, it's not so thick, not so deep, and obviously there's 3 or 4 drilling processes, but this one's only got the one drill and centre drill. So we'll drop him out. Put the tap in. Don't nip it too tight, just so as it's got it, and then like I say, the tap's a lot harder than what this chuck is, so therefore, you know, it will slip on it, and it would have to go around a lot of times before it picked up. So that's ready to go there. I will give it a shot of juice, being just a smaller tap. Just drop in low gear. Okay, and there we go. And that's pretty much it. It don't look like it's gone in far, but it will have gone in about 3 or 4 threads, which is enough to keep it square and give me a good start. I'll just undo that, back him off, and I can pop the old tap wrench on, and then I can just start to tap it. I can't turn it all the way around because your camera's in the way now, but you can see where I'm going now, and I'll just carry on and finish that off manually. But at least by doing that, it keeps me dead square up and gives me a good start, so when I set off, you know, I don't go all sort of piss prodigal, if you like, you know. So yeah, that'll be another good job done. So I've got 2 of these to do, and I shall crack on and get them done now, and then I've got to make one more spigot for the other side wheel housing or wheel hub, so I can let it retract onto that to you know, for the second hub. But so yeah, we'll get this done and then I'll bring you back. Right, so this is the last hole in this one, and we'll just drill that out so you can see that time consuming, just drilling and tapping, but it makes the job a bit more professional doing it all and making a nice job of it. And that's the last hole drilled. I've just got to tap it out now, which you've seen before. So, but yeah, this is. I'll just back off so you can see the mill. There she is. Look, grand old tool. So yeah, so that'll do for this one. Okay, so this is what I've been working towards then. I've got the back plate and the brake shoes all bolted up on the adapter plate. Brake drum's now all done and fastened to the hub, so we haven't got to marry the two together, and we're somewhere near the mark. And there's the back plate, look. I only put 3 bolts in just to hold it together because it's got to all come off again. They're all drilled and tapped, as you can see, so that's all good. And the pinch bolts in, which I showed you before, which you're not going to be able to see from here. Just see the bolt there, look, pinch bolt. Just nipping it up onto this shaft. I have got to make a key for the keyway, but that's, you know, where I wanted to be. I'm just going to try the hub on now and see how it marries up, see if we need to gain a bit more with the spacer or not. So I'll just do that now and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so we've got it shoved up. And that edge there, I can see the gap. I can see the gap from out here, but not behind the camera very well. There, look. I do believe we want probably 5 or 6 mil spacer, where I've got the 10 mil spacer in there. I do believe we probably want, well, anywhere from 4 to 5 mil in that bit there. So let's see if I can try and measure it with a vernier. But basically, this lip of the drum should be inside the back plate. So it'd probably take a 6 mil spacer. I'll measure it and find out, and then make a decision from there. Okay, so this is the first mud guard on the bench. I've just had a day, well, a day and a half, just clearing out. Got my bench back so I can get all the way around it and do. And I've also been in the machine shop and cleaned all the lathes and everything off, and had a sort out in there, so some of the bits in here could go in the machine shop out of the way. So, but we're pretty much geared up now, ready to go. So as you can see, I said it was in rough order, and you know, it's basically the tin's not really repairable. It wants unpicking and a new sheet of tin putting in. I mean, even the foot plate, or the bulkhead plate, you know, is rotted away and gone, look. So it's not worth welding a piece in that, to be fair. But you know, some of the artifacts like the blooming press tin bracket, yeah, that's good order. The top, just come around this side of the steering box. The top is in reasonable order. Just odd little dent, and you can't see the back of it because it's behind the number plate, but it's in good order. It's got a nice, still got a nice rolled edge on it, which is not rotten. She might be a bit thin in a place or two around here, but I think I can salvage that and just put a sheet of tin in behind it. And there's the tractor in the background. But I've just got to unpick this this little man here. It's seized up, and the threads are really poor. But I'll probably have to warm that up. I've just tried it, but it's just twisting the rod. So I'll warm that up, get that bit off, so I can get the throttle rod from out of its bracket, because I need to salvage that. And yeah, so I'll crack on, and I'll bring you back when I start unpicking a few bits. Okay, so the sound went off of this one, but basically I just warmed the little quadrant on the end of the throttle rod because it was seized up to the point where it's twisting the rod. So I just warm it and cool it down, and that sort of puts it pretty much so it's, you know, it's easy to undo. It's a clever little trick, and it's one of them things they learn you when you're an engineer in old school days, like. But just cooling it off, and you wouldn't believe it was so tight when you come to move it, because you can just do it finger tight. But just for a bit of warm and a bit of water, it's a magical little trick that is. So just grab the spanner and just to go and give it a try. I'm talking to you on there, but the sound just disappeared again. Seems to have a habit of doing that just lately. But anyway, there you go. Look, look straight on with your fingers, no bother at all. Okay, so I've just done 2 videos and the bum and sound ain't come out again. Mainly because I believe the microphone had run out of charge this time. But anyway, I've got it plugged into the mains now, and we'll see what happens. So we'll have another go. I can prop that up somehow. Right, so I've got 2 little nuts in here that I need to get undone. I just did 2. I mean, these are seized that when you try to turn, it turns the whole lot or bends the tin because the tin's so fragile. But I'll just go through that process. I do such things over a bucket, really, just stop the mess all on the floor and everywhere, like. But let's just cool them off, and straight away you see it's just coming undone. I mean, Toby? Dogs just flew outside for some reason. Toby dog, come on! But anyway, this good boy. He sometimes, when I start the gas or something up, he's not too sure, so he flies out the shed while I'm done and then comes back. But anyway, that's another one, look. I mean, it's just amazingly, I mean, you could use some of these again, but I've got some of these in the stores. So I bought a box full years ago when I did the first standard Ford, and I had to buy a box just to get half a dozen, but at the end of the day, they've come in useful, you know, several times since. Of course, and this is bolted, bracket and tin work all bolted here as one, and then on the top side of this pressed tin bracket, it's got a bloody great rivet in it, so it's going to have to be ground off. I'll get my little hammer. So save the spring washer. But like I say, they could be used again. I mean, that one's got a good slot in it. Put it on the wire wheel and give it a good old doing up. It would wouldn't look out of place. So that's that bit out. That's the first part of the bulkhead plate. And taking note that this is a wartime one, and it's got a cutaway bulkhead plate, whereas my 38 tractor and my 36 tractor is got a full square plate. And then to save steel in the war, they made them cut away. This is a cut away one. Obviously there's a lump missing off the bottom, but so yeah, so that's that. One or two more little ones around here. I shall just take out the tin work just to segregate the rough stuff from what would have been the original bend, and then I'll straighten it up and hopefully get some form of profile to mark out my new bit of tin. The bulkhead, and I spaced the little bits that I took out from the seize bolts, look, at exactly all the same centres as the rest of the tin work, and that's where it ends up. So you can see how much is missing out of that one, because this bit here comes along down here somewhere, and it does have a little bit kicked up on this end, but so yeah, it was replaced the job, that one. I've also took that U-bolt out and save yourself a few little bolts, look. So, but this bit here, so we took the bolt out the press tin bracket, and we know it's got a rivet on it, and I've ground the rivet off on the underside here, just there, which you can't see very well, which will come out okay. But on the back side, look, you can see it's all been spot welded to the tin. But I mean, you can see how corroded and how bumpy the rust has got in behind now, shoved that all up. So it's just another bit that confirms that it wanted, you know, it needs replacing. Same as like on this side now, look. There we can see it's split all up there, and it'll all be bad in behind that tin work where it's been riveted on, and obviously all the bottom's missing. So yeah, we'll crack on. We'll keep doing a bit. I'm going to clean all this off here now, cut a bit out so I can just get the bracket off in one piece, and clean all the bits off it, and then you know, at least I'll get a good salvageable bracket, and then I'll set to and, you know, spot weld it back on my bit of tin, drill a hole in the tin, and then spot weld through the hole, because I don't have a spot welder as such, but no, it'll come good. Okay, so it's got the tin bracket off. Feel that the bolt's saved, look. Got a few pit holes in on the back, but they've cleaned up and they'll be okay. Still a strong piece of metal. And at the end of the day, we're not Concours here. It's to rebuild a tractor with whatever means possible, and try and do a reasonable engineering job on it and put it to work. And in this case, modified. But so we'll put a bit of new tin here and there, and weld a bit in if we have to do, and salvage what we can, and just make a nice example of a rebuilt tractor and saved it with not too much money. That's the thing about it. I did one, spent thousands on it, and vowed I'll never ever go there again. And I'll probably put a picture up with that in this conversation. But so we're now taking just ground some rivets off there. I'm just going to go find a bit of steel to put underneath so I can put it underneath and bang the rivets through into it. And the top tip here, look, just been made myself a cup of tea because it's getting 4:30 time now, and temperature's coming down, albeit the tractors are sweating. The temperature has gone up and everything's sweating, even the tools in the toolbox are bloody sweating. But the temperature's dropping again now. And the top tip is, if you make yourself a cup of tea, you've got to insulate it. If you put it on the steel, 2 minutes and the bugger will be cold. So that's my idea anyway. So right, I'll catch up with you later. So we've ground all the rivet heads off, and I dot punched them and just drilled the end of the rivet to try and get rid of a bit of its mushroom effect. And here I am now with a punch, just punching them out. And to be fair, the most of them come out. The odd one hasn't come out. And so we just did a bit more grinding, a bit more drilling, and then they all popped out, just to get the trumpet housing bracket off the back, and then followed up with the wing struts. As you can see, they're still taking a fair bit of knocking out. That's why I'm holding it with a bit of mold grips, because so I can hit it as hard as I bloody dare, like, or hard as I can. It's probably a good job you can't hear the sound anyway, because when I was hitting that, it was making a hell of a bloody racket. Just like banging a bloody drum. But it's doing the job. We're getting it apart. I'm talking to you there. Look, I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but but yeah, we pretty much got it. So there you are. Look, we've just got the bracket out, the trumpet housing bracket, and it's come out fairly clean. Nice casting, and a good item saved. All remains now is just to get them two top rivets out where I'm pointing, so we can get the blooming the wing struts off. And because what I had forgotten about, they also spot welded. But what I did, I sluggered a thin splitting chisel in from behind it, and you know, they popped apart fairly well. Okay then, afternoon's work, and what have we achieved? Well, we saved a good trumpet housing bracket that holds the tin work for the mudguard. We've got two mudguard stays there, look. And I'll say reasonable order. That one's got a hole in there which we need to sort out and fill up, but we can salvage them okay. We've got the mainstay right through there, which is basically anchors your footboard to for its strength. We've got the angle iron, yeah, and it's got a bit missing off the end. The angle iron's got a bit missing off the end, so it'll just, because it's a round one, look, so it just needs remanufacturing and a piece putting on it. And then we've got the tin bracket, bulkhead bracket. So, and the rest of the top is there, still intact. And we've got to get background so we get the light on it. Yeah, so you can see the old tin was in a bit of a poor shape. So we've still got to salvage the top off, but I've got an idea for that. So yeah, I'm one more guard in bits. You know, it's now sort of almost ready for the rebuild. Once we get the rebuild sorted on, then it can go on the trumpet, and then of course all the brakes and bits and pieces have got to come off to get it on, and when they go back on next time they can be finalised, which, you know, will be a hell of an achievement really. I mean, I don't think the rest of it, radiator and tank and bulkhead bits and piping up, not going to take that long. Chucking the front axle on, chucking the wheels on, them sort of bits ain't going to take long. This is the bit that takes the work. What I've done with the hubs and the brakes and what I'm now doing with the tin work, but it will bring the tractor together. So, well, it's been fairly hard slog this afternoon. You know, I'm quite happy with what I've achieved. And you know, I've had a day and a half off, like I say, clearing up so I can get in back on the bench and get some of this work done. And so I'm a bit behind this week, but we're getting there.